pre-algebra. We're covering CO52, the first objective in Unit 9. And we're going to start by looking at what are called X-Intercepts and Y-Intercepts of a graph. Have you covered this before? Is this review sixth grade? Talk about this? No? Fantastic. We get to learn something new. If you just had to guess, and by kind of looking at our graphs of equations down below, the X-intercept of a graph, what would you guess? Anthony?
And intercepts the x value?
Yeah, kind of close. Okay, the X-intercept is where the graph, and I'll replace graph with line, just kind of start basic here. Where the line crosses the x-axis. Okay, where the line crosses the x-axis. And the Y-intercept then would be, Tristan?
Where the line crosses the y-axis.
Good. Where the line crosses the y-axis. Okay. And there are certain hints that ordered pairs can give us as to whether it is representative of an x-intercept, a y-intercept, or someplace else on the graph. Okay. For example, 5, 0, this first ordered pair here, 5, 0. Think about where that would be on the coordinate plane. Is that an x-intercept? Is it on the x-axis? Is it a y-intercept? Is it on the y-axis, or is it someplace else? Think your battleship days. Okay, 5, 0. Where is that on the coordinate plane? On the x-axis, on the y-axis, or someplace else? Go down that first coordinate plane there, that's under the Mr. Happy Pencil section, and plot the point 5, 0. And then tell me, is that point on the x-axis, on the y-axis, or someplace else? Right. Nolan?
X-axis. On
the x-axis, right? It's right here. Okay? So 5, 0 would be an x-intercept. Because at that point, right, that's where whatever line this point's a part of, it's crossing the x-axis. It's on the x-axis. Okay? So that would be an x-intercept. Negative 4, 3. Picture where that is. Negative 4, 3. Is that on the x-axis, on the y-axis, or someplace else? If you're not sure, pick any of the coordinate planes that are on the page, plot the point, take a look at where it is. Scarlett. On the y-axis? It's not going to be on the y-axis. Negative 4, 3, if we were to plot it down here. No, that's someplace else. That's out in space, right? It's not on one of the axes. It's someplace else. So we're going to say it's neither. Neither an x-intercept nor a y-intercept. Negative 17, 0. Now this one you can't plot, right? Unless you extend the coordinate plane so it goes out to negative 17. Just picture where it is. On an axis or out in space? Nolan.
Oh, x-intercept.
X-intercept. How did you know that?
Because the x-axis comes before the y-axis.
Okay.
And negative 17 would be on the x-axis.
Okay.
Which makes it an x-intercept.
But how do you know it's on the x-axis and not just someplace else?
Because there's a 0?
Exactly. Okay. You can identify if an ordered pair is an x-intercept by looking at the y value. Because in these two examples of x-intercepts that we have here, what is true about the y value for each of them? What is true about the y value for both of these ordered pairs that we've said is an x-intercept? This might be the easiest question you get asked all day today. So let's bring this one home. William, what is true about the y values for each of the ordered pairs we've said are x-intercepts. They're both 0, okay? And that's the key point for an x-intercept. For an x-intercept, the y value will always be 0. Because to be on the x-axis means we're not going up, we're not going down. There's no vertical movement there, only horizontal, okay? How about 0, 8? Is y 0 this time? Landon? It's a y-intercept, okay? A y-intercept. And Landon, how do you know it's a y-intercept? Because the x value is 0. Okay? For a y-intercept, the x value is always 0 because, again, if we're on the y-axis, that means we haven't moved side to side at all. Right? There's no horizontal change there. So which one of our last 2 ordered pairs is also a y-intercept? Mia?
Last one.
The last one, 0, -10. Right? Because x equals 0. And then the other one, 1, -7, not only do we have side-to-side movement here with the +1, but we also have downward movement with the -7. Neither value is a 0, which means it's neither an x-intercept nor a y-intercept. Okay? Questions on this? All right. We're going to focus more, though, on looking at a graph and being able to tell where the x-intercept and the y-intercept are. So this first one says, write the x-intercept and y-intercept of each graph. You're looking at the line, and you're telling me, where does this line cross the x-axis? I'm going to abbreviate x-int, x-intercept. Where does that line cross the... If you'd like to donate to my chair fund, please feel free. Where does this line cross the x-axis? Anthony?
-2.
-2, right? Here's our x-axis here. We see, where's this line crossing this? Oh, it's right here at -2. Now, what's the ordered pair at that point? If it's an x-intercept, we know that -2, 0, right? The x value where it crosses is coming first, and then we know that y is 0 because we have not gone up or down at all. How about the y-intercept? Where does this line cross the y-axis? Now we're looking at the y-axis here, right? I'll do it in red. So looking at that y-axis. Y-intercept. Okay. What point? Scarlett? Sorry? 2. Excellent. Okay. And because it's a y-intercept, we know that x value is 0. The ordered pair of the y-intercept is 0, 2. Right here. Right. How about the next one? Take a look at that x-axis, the x-intercept. Where does this line cross the x-axis? Let's get a new voice. Someone that has not yet responded. Where is this line crossing the x-axis? I've heard from you, Nolan. Thank you. Mr. Olson.
4.
4, okay? And because it is an x-intercept, we know that the y value is 0, right? There's no vertical movement happening here, okay? It crosses the x-intercept at 4. The x-intercept is 4, 0. Looking at y. Again, someone we have not heard from yet today. I've heard from you. Thank you. Regan. 2. I seem to like 2. A lot of these, oh, yeah. But 0, 2, right? The x value is 0. We know that because it's a y-intercept, and we can see the line crosses the y-axis at +2. Okay. Questions on this? Where folks get tripped up is, messing up which axis is which. Not all coordinate planes that you'll have will have the x and the y axis labeled. I do have them labeled here. Okay. The x-axis is always the horizontal, the y-axis is always the vertical. But take a look at the examples that we've done, right? Take a look at up at the top. For an x-intercept, your y value is always 0. For the y-intercept, your x value is always 0. So for homework for tomorrow, you're going to finish these 4, writing the x-intercept and the y-intercept of each. Then some questions down at the bottom. What is true about every ordered pair of an x-intercept? What is true about every ordered pair of a y-intercept? And then, what is the only ordered pair that is both an x-intercept and a y-intercept? And if you know what that ordered pair is called, it's got a special name for it too, bonus points. I tried to name kid number 3 after this ordered pair, but the wife was not all about that. So, questions, comments, concerns, complaints, comments, congratulations, criticisms on this? We'll go. Homework for tomorrow. Finish CO52. That's how you math.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Thank